So let's move on to Tron, which has, as you can see, it's tailed off a little bit in price consolidation. There was a lot of fuckery going on there. If you recall, I set up the short. Entry was 208. Now remember this level, this 208, and I'll show you why that was so important shortly. Probably it looks a lot worse on the on the 1 hour. So remember we spoke about 208. We bid 202 and we had stops at 205, and obviously the entry for the short was 208. Now, because I thought that was going to be heavy resistance, which then turned out to be heavy support. So let's look at these levels here. 202, that was our initial entry after we split our bid from 208, and look where it closed, 208. We had our stops at 205. We was obviously out of that trade anyway because we actually come up and hit take profit levels. So 205 came down, tagged it and up. When that dump happened the other day, what did it come? 208. Absolutely to the sat. Now you can see from this level here, if I just pull that fully through at 208, and then you see that point there. Absolute perfection of a support and resistance flip. And again, if you recall, the entry was 208, the stop was 213, so here, and the take profit was 190, and the trade was a 3.6R. So that was just under, I think it was just under 9% short level, and we missed by one sat. And what happened? Price came down, absolutely nuked. Support, found support. I mean, this is not natural. I think Bitcoin had a lot to do with that. You had a decent amount of support building there, and then I think there may have been a tweet or something like that, and it pushed it straight back up again. So price broke out, and then we started targeting them 246s. Again, 246 was another level that we was keen on, and the 221, which was the last long that we said was 221 TP, and that was why. And it had 2 attempts at it, and then that was that absolutely manipulative candle, went from 220 to 208 and back again. So let's get rid of these because they're old. We'll keep the 208 on there. So let's pull up the, I'm not really a fan of volume in terms of directional flow at the minute, so it's pointless. So I'll turn them off. So the MAs are just pretty bunched together, and we have quite a tight range in this section here. So what are we looking at? We're looking for the price to break through of this 221. So what do? We draw the 221 on here. We'll move this along. Let's close the MAs. Let's get it nice and neat. We can get rid of that because we didn't bloody fill. And that one. I kept these on just obviously because I wanted to run through just how close that call was to another 9% for Tron. I know Tron's been quite good to us lately. So what are we looking at now? So what we want to see is you have that obvious level here as a rejection level, and we want price to break out of this consolidation level. So are we going to buy the breakout? Some people do. I find it much better for me in terms of stop placement to again wait for that break. This is the 4-hour chart, so we might not have to wait that long. So we're going to look for this, and then we want to see that flip. So remember that 208? was heavy resistance and then came down and ended up being support, as you could see there. Price come up and obviously didn't close above 208 and wick down to 208. So these are the levels we want to see, but we want to jump up one now. So we want to see this on 221. So resistance there, couldn't quite reach it twice, had 2 attempts at it, but we want to see price come through and we want to see a rejection around about 228, 229, and then we want to see that come down, and then that point there is where we go. And let's draw the long position to see what our R is, which is very important. And we're looking at somewhere around about there, which will put us under these wicks here, and a 2.26. Again, another 5R. If I said it before, if you keep pulling the trigger on these setups, it's pretty boring because you're not throwing all your money in on a 30% coin that's pumped already, and the order book's going crazy, and you might be able to nick 6% in 10 seconds and stuff like that. That's fine, but the people who trade them, let's have a chat in 2 years' time when I'll still be buying these support and resistant flips, and we'll see how their account's doing. You know what I think, and hopefully you think the same thing. The portfolios will be slightly different to each other. So that 5R is a very, very good entry if we get it. Similar to BNB, very easy stop placement, and a no-brainer in terms of a resistance turn support flip. So again, if we take profit off there, we're looking for that bounce through, come down, and 246 then build support, and we then long that. And then what do? We come out, we'll go to the daily, and we'll draw, see this level here, just for no close above, bounced here, came down, rejected again, and then a huge sell-off. So once we've drawn this level, you could argue as well, because don't forget you're on the daily, so all of these percentages will be pretty spaced out. So you've got a key area there, see this? Support, 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 support. There's only so many times it can happen, and then it comes back down, turns resistance. Another absolutely key level. So what, now we've drawn that, we go to the 4 hour. And let's get rid of the auto. I fucking hate that. So when we see this, we're going to look for this exact pattern. There. And what do we have? A near on perfect copy of what we're going to do. We want this level, this 246, which was resistance. We want that to be resistance first of all, flip support, and then we target the next level. So again, another 5R. So these are the trades you really need to be looking out for. Obviously, I'll try my best to keep an eye on these as best as I can, but I can't watch. Unfortunately, I can't watch everything, and sometimes I miss them. But when I say to try and memorize these specific levels, i.e. Tron 208, BNB 23500, VET, we know that 60 now and 65 and 43 was very good levels. I know VET levels up to 246. So the coin that you trade the most and you have the most success out of, trade that as much as you can. I used to always scalp Tron, and it wasn't because I loved Tron, it was because it was fucking easy to do it. I mean, I think I did, about 80 trades one day, just scalping 1%, which I sent to the group and tweeted it. That was back in the day when the volume was a lot better, but them chances are still here. But you just need a bit of patience and you need to wait for the right setups. So yeah, it's very similar to BNB, although with this one, BNB is a little bit closer to breaking through that previous resistance, and we just want to see this break out of this channel and come back and flip support. All right, so let me upload this one, and I'm probably going to do Stellar, because I'm just looking at on one of the other screens, and we've already broken through and we're approaching previous resistance. So it's a very similar setup, but I think we're a little bit further along with XML, so we might get a feel a little bit quicker. So I'll do that right now.